When I first learned about inherited ancestral trauma, it wasn't because of business. It was actually because my marriage wasn't doing well. And I had been doing personal growth at that point for 13 years, deep meditation, Vipassana, all sorts of trauma healing. And I still wasn't able to find some sort of solution that was helping my marriage. And I had been separated for 2 years. I was at that point where I was dating other people and I was in a relationship where I wasn't being treated very well. It was actually embarrassing how badly I was being treated, but I couldn't seem to break up with him without feeling depressed. And I couldn't figure it out. And a friend of mine said, check out Family Constellations, Inherited Ancestral Trauma. It's going to blow your mind, and you won't even believe how 90% of your consciousness is in the subconscious, and it also has a family energetic field where all these things are influencing you and you're not even aware of it. So I go to my first workshop and I find out that the reason why I was getting depressed every time I tried to break up with this guy who was clearly not interested in me, and friends were telling me, like, wake up, like, what's going on with you, like, why can't you break up? And I was like, I'm trying, like, it's clear it's not working out, but every time I try to break up with him, I feel this heartache and depression. It was crazy. And then I found out in my first workshop that it was because I had entangled and was recreating my romantic relationships, my relationship with my dad. And my dad, it was a very painful relationship where when I was about 6 years old, he lost his job and he got depressed, and he never really came back to himself. He lost his sense of identity. And the guy I used to sleep on his chest, I used to follow him around, and we had this beautiful heart connection. And when I was 6 years old, he just went away. He kind of checked out and never came back. And I was projecting that onto all my romantic relationships and seeking my father's love in these relationships. And I didn't know it. So after 2 years of not being able to break up with this guy who was treating me embarrassingly badly, after this workshop, I was able to break up with him and then leave my job and move to Bali. And it was fantastic. And then from there, I realized, if this is just how influential our family inherited trauma and all of our entanglements with our parents are, I realized there must be so many other things with money, with business, with career. And I was right. And I used to think if I just worked hard enough, I could succeed. But, year after year of working really hard and just feeling like nothing was working out, all of a sudden when I started doing constellation work, things started flowing in more easily. The right purposeful career, clients, friends, opportunities. All of a sudden, when I wasn't subconsciously sabotaging things and seeking things that weren't actually what I really wanted, all of a sudden things got easier with less work. So that was my first foray into family constellations. So worth it.